Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. As always, thank you for taking time out of your day to watch the content. I really appreciate all the support. Today we have multiple PlayStation topics to go over and discuss. First up, we're talking about a game that is giving out a free PS4 to PS5 upgrade. We're talking about the Bungie acquisition deal and how the FTC is apparently going to be looking into this as well. We're talking about Final Fantasy 16 and how we're getting confirmation development is pretty much done and the game is ready to be shown, and this has led to many people speculating that we're going to be getting some type of state of play or PlayStation showcase where we will see more Final Fantasy 16. And finally, we're talking about a summer event that has officially been confirmed. So before we get into it, do me a favor, if you do end up enjoying the video or finding it informative, make sure you leave it a like. It really does help the videos a lot. And if you are new here to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. So talking about the free PS4 to PS5 upgrade, this is in regards to Dying Light. Reading from PlayStation Lifestyle, they say all players who own the standard edition of Dying Light on PS4 and PS5 will be able to upgrade to the enhanced edition for free from today. The offer gives access to the following DLC expansion as well as a new game mode, weapons, and skins. Those who already own the Enhanced Edition will still benefit from the release of Update 1.49, which introduces a new event for twins Tulga and Phaeton. To get the free Enhanced Edition upgrade, Dying Light players need to launch the game and pick the DLC packs option from the main menu. The DLC will now be free to download, and you will get the following expansion, the Bozak Horde, Crash Test Skin Pack, Ultimate Survival Bundle, and Cuisine and Cargo. So I wanted to let everybody know about this because it's pretty cool when we get these free PS5 enhancements and upgrades. And what's really cool is to see the continued support for Dying Light. We're not talking about Dying Light 2, just in case anybody may be a little bit confused. This is for Dying Light 1. They went back and they upgraded the game for the PS5, and I think people are really happy about it. So yeah, if you're somebody who maybe did play Dying Light 2 and you never did experience the first game, this is something you might want to look into. We're moving on to the next topic though, which talks once again about the Bungie acquisition and how the FTC has opened an investigation into Sony's purchase of Bungie. Reading from PlayStation Universe, they say according to a new report from the Information, which is behind a paywall, the U.S. Federal Trade Commission has opened an investigation into Sony's purchase of Bungie, which was announced earlier this year. The $3.6 billion deal was announced at the end of January this year, making the first month of 2022 one of the biggest single months for acquisitions in the industry after Microsoft announced that they are purchasing Activision Blizzard. While Sony's purchase is still dwarfed by Microsoft's, this investigation means that both deals are now being looked at by the Commission, though this doesn't exactly mean that either won't go through. More importantly, the investigation is a sign that the FTC is paying closer attention to the gaming industry as what has grown to be one of the biggest entertainment industries continues to consolidate. In any case, this announcement is only the beginning of things, and it's unclear as to what this investigation will uncover and how it could affect the deal. So I wanted to make everybody aware of this because this is something that we've been seeing with the Microsoft Activision Blizzard deal, where there's just been a lot of scrutiny surrounding it. The FTC is looking into that as well, and it's not that surprising to see that they're also looking into the Sony Bungie acquisition. Even though it is significantly smaller than the Activision Blizzard deal, it's still something that is big enough. They're going to want to look into it, and there's no doubt that they're also looking into it, as the article points out, because we're continuing to see the industry consolidate at a rapid rate, and the more this continues to happen, the more rapidly it happens, the more we're going to be seeing different write-ups like this and hearing that the FTC is, looking into this or looking into that. As to whether or not this is going to affect the deal from potentially not going through, I don't think so. I think that this PlayStation Bungie acquisition is going to go through just fine. Even when it comes to Microsoft and Activision Blizzard, I think that's going to go through as well. But I do imagine that at some point in time, we could see a situation where maybe something does end up getting blocked for one reason or another. But I just wanted to keep you guys updated on this and let you know what's going on. Now, the next topic we're covering is something that I think a lot of PlayStation fans and Final Fantasy fans are going to be very happy to hear. I came across an article over on Push Square, where they say Final Fantasy 16 trailer coming soon. The game is basically complete. So they say it sounds like it's actually happening, folks. It apparently won't be long until we're finally reunited with Final Fantasy 16. During a recent Square Enix live stream for a mobile title Near Reincarnation, Final Fantasy 16 producer Naoki Yoshida gives an update on the anticipated PS5 RPG. Yoshida says that the new trailer for the game is ready to go, but its release was delayed for reasons. It should be made public soon, however, which makes us wonder whether it will be part of an upcoming Sony showcase. It would make sense, wouldn't it? Yoshida also reiterates what we heard just last week, that Final Fantasy 16 is basically finished. Apparently, the development team is now working on polishing and optimizing the game, which of course begs the question, when is this game going to launch? It could be that Final Fantasy 16 is a lot closer than many might think. It could be targeting a 2022 release date after all, but at the same time, it's possibly on course for something like spring 2023, which would give Square Enix ample time to properly market its potential blockbuster. Either way, it's looking like we will have confirmation in the relatively near future. So there are two major things with this. The first is that we're hearing the trailer is good and ready to go, and that the game is pretty much nearly finished. I am beginning to think that, yeah, Final Fantasy 16, for as crazy as it may sound, could be a 2022 title. I mean, even if they want to launch it at the end of this year, that will give them plenty of time to market the game. And I just think that in general, everything we've been hearing about Final Fantasy 16, it's all good news. We're hearing that a trailer's ready to go. It's clear that development has been going well. They're just finishing the game up, polishing it. All signs do point to the game possibly being the big holiday 2022 game for PlayStation and for Square Enix. But the other thing about this is it has PlayStation fans thinking maybe Sony's going to be doing a showcase soon, or if not a showcase, a state of play. And the reason for this is because the producer straight up saying, our trailer's ready to be shown, we're just kind of sitting on it because it had to be delayed. And he doesn't explain why it was delayed. But he says that we'll be seeing it soon, hopefully. And when you think about it, it would make a lot of sense that the reason why it was delayed is because Sony is planning maybe some type of state of play or showcase. And we know that when Sony is planning these things, they seemingly are willing and ready to just move these dates around all over the place. But yeah, I mean, Final Fantasy 16, you have to imagine, is a game that Sony absolutely wants to show off in conjunction with, you know, their own marketing, the marketing of PlayStation, the marketing of PS5. Even though the PS5 is in short supply, still, this is going to be one of the bigger games that launches for it. And I'm thinking maybe there's a decent chance that this is what's going to happen, that Sony could announce a state of play or showcase and Final Fantasy 16 will play a major role in it. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there. We'll probably talk more about what Sony may be planning for a showcase or something like that in an upcoming video or during the podcast. But let me know what you think about this. How are you feeling about Final Fantasy 16? Are you surprised to hear that it's apparently pretty much finished and they have a new trailer? And do you think that this is why we haven't actually seen the trailer yet, because they're saving it for the big PlayStation showcase or state of play? Let me know your thoughts. The final topic talks about an event that is happening over the summer. We finally have a date for it. That being Summer Game Fest. Over on Geoff Keighley's Twitter, he says we have a date. Don't miss Summer Game Fest, streaming live on Thursday, June 9th at 11 a.m. PT, 2 p.m. ET, and 6 p.m. GMT. I'm hosting a live cross-industry showcase, game announcements, reveals, plus Day of the Devs. Lots of events coming in June. Keep checking. And so, yeah, this is going to be like a 2-hour, I would assume a 2-hour event, but it'll be a multi-hour event. And it sounds like he's, you know, doing what he does. We know how Geoff Keighley is. He likes to hype things up. And I feel like it's kind of hit or miss with Geoff Keighley. But considering E3 is not going to be a thing this year, you have to imagine that any developers or publishers that are trying to get that, you know, big spotlight on them over the summer, I mean, Summer Game Fest is going to be the place where you do it. And I'm hoping that Hideo Kojima will be there. I want to say it's likely he will, because him and Geoff Keighley are friends. But yeah, you know, as to whether or not Sony will be there, it's hard to say. I think there's a 50-50 chance. I know that people, when it comes to Sony, they get a little bit frustrated because Sony's always quiet and unpredictable. And unfortunately, when it comes to Summer Game Fest, the same can be said, right? Like, Sony's either going to do their own event in June, and because of that, they're not really going to be part of Summer Game Fest, Or maybe Sony isn't planning to do their own summer event, and instead, who knows, maybe this is where we'll end up seeing Final Fantasy 16. But nonetheless, I will be streaming Summer Game Fest when it happens. You know, hopefully you guys will hang out with me, and hopefully there will be some awesome new game reveals. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. I hope you did find it informative. Again, if you did, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share the video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.
そこを間違えないように作るというか、そこはすごく神経質になってます今。
All right, fair enough. I tried. Well, Mr. Kojima, honestly, I really do appreciate you making the time to stop by and just say hello to everyone. We miss you, and we can't wait to see what you're working on next. So thank you.